Hello everybody, welcome back to Blues Focus TV for another full-time match reaction video. This evening we took on Watford at home and managed to come away with a 1-1 draw. And before we get into how we played, I think it's really important to note that tonight's result is such a fantastic point for Blues. Watford are looking such a strong team so early on in the season. Obviously they beat Burnley at the weekend, drew against the Baggies, and got a good 3 points in their 1-0 win in the opening game of the season against Sheffield United. So coming into tonight's game was going to be a big challenge for Blues. Obviously Watford came down from the Premier League last season. Their team on paper is absolutely brilliant. There's strength in many areas of the pitch. I know they've lost a few good players, but they've certainly retained a good number of talented players. So tonight's game was always going to be tough, and I think most Blues fans would have expected a loss tonight, particularly judging by how we played against Cardiff. So it was so fantastic to pick up the point. It could have been 3 if we were able to hold on just that little bit longer. A shame we weren't, but I'm certainly not complaining. I'm sure most Blues fans out there aren't. First 20 minutes, Watford certainly showed what a talented side they are. They were threatening our goal quite a bit, to be honest. After watching the first opening 10-15 minutes, I thought it was going to be a thrashing of 3 or 4-0. I think they hit the post, had one cleared off the line, a few chances from outside the box. They were certainly threatening our goal early on. But it was really surprising to see us get the opener, to be honest. It was a nicely taken throw in from Troy Deeney, took it quickly down the line to Scott Hogan. And from where I was sitting, it looked like there were no real options in the box. Wasn't sure what Hogan was going to do down that right-hand side. But a nicely played into the box. Bakuna looked like he left it well. Fell to the 18-year-old George Hall, who managed to finish in the bottom left corner. I'm so happy for George Hall to get his first goal for Blues, his first full 90 minutes, I believe. In the Championship for George Hall. He certainly looks a good player. He looks quick, he looks good on the ball, he looks comfortable. I can't believe he's 18, to be honest. The maturity of him is brilliant. It's great to see us producing so many young, talented players. Obviously, we've got Jordan James on the side, George Hall, Josh Williams, who played the full 90 minutes, and I'll get onto him a bit later because he was superb tonight. But it's so great to see us using our academy so effectively. Obviously, we had Jude Bellingham a few seasons ago, and we know what he's become. So it's really exciting to see our youngsters really doing well for Blues. But yeah, fantastic to get the opening goal against Watford, and I think that really set the tone for the game. Then I think Watford were a bit thrown off, unsurprisingly, because after that they were struggling to show the threat they showed in the first 20 minutes. They were really struggling to attack our goal. I thought we held our shape well after the goal. We were difficult to break down. We created a few chances for ourselves as well as the game went on. I think Deeney had a volley towards the end of the game, which was nicely saved by Dan Bachman. A few other chances here and there for Blues. So wasn't our prettiest performance in the world. It's never going to be against the top opposition in the Championship. And we know how difficult teams like Watford are to play against. But certainly an okay performance, certainly an improvement on Cardiff. I mentioned it earlier, but I thought Josh Williams tonight at right wing back was fantastic, and it was a really good decision from Eustace, in my opinion. I thought the first 45 minutes for Colin at right wing back against Cardiff, he looked very shaky. And then for the last 20 minutes, I know he moved Colin into centre half and brought Williams on at right wing back, and that certainly seemed a better system. Williams was able to bring the ball forward a bit more, like Pajeta does on the left-hand side. And Collins certainly looked a bit more comfortable in the right centre-back position. So I'm glad Eustace opted to start with that tonight, and it certainly paid off. Colin looks more comfortable at right centre-back, in my opinion. I think Colin's a fantastic right-back, but going forward, he doesn't quite have the pace or the speed to get behind players and get balls into the box like Josh Williams showed he can do tonight. Obviously, Graham normally fits in that right wing-back role. If Colin's playing at right centre-back, and Graham's fantastic at getting balls into the box, but Josh Williams just seems to have that little bit extra about him. He seems to beat his man really well. He crosses the ball early, which I quite like, to be honest. I think a lot of the time wing-backs can do a bit much, and they look to cross it too late, and by that time the opportunity's already gone. But Josh Williams certainly looks to get crosses in from deep and get them in as early as he possibly can, which is really positive in my opinion. But for me, he was our man of the match tonight. Again, great to see a youngster doing so well for Blues. And it's good Eustace is putting giving these youngsters great opportunities, really, because it just gives them opportunities to grow. Hopefully they can do well for the club, and hopefully they can be worth a little bit of money in the future. But yeah, great performance from Williams tonight. Thought the defence played really well. Sanderson and Trusty at the back. I think those two have been brilliant signings. I don't know where we'd be without them, to be honest. Very solid. Obviously, Sanderson cleared one off the line for Blues in the first half, which obviously would have made it 1-1 at that point. So that was really important. Trusty looks so solid at the back. He's quite a skinny bloke, so you don't expect him to have too much strength about him, but he's really strong, able to muscle off, obviously, João Pedro tonight multiple times, and as we know, he's a big striker, so yeah, centre-halves did brilliantly. Midfield looked good as well. Bacuna looked good. He certainly played better tonight than he did against Cardiff. Only thing about Bacuna, he can be a bit nerve-wracking to watch. He often keeps hold of the ball for quite a while, and can sometimes do it in a few dangerous positions. Certainly in our defensive half tonight, a few times he releases the ball. He takes a couple of steps and then looks to release it. So maybe as one improvement I suggest for Bacuna is looking to release the ball a bit earlier. But again, a good performance from him tonight. Looked solid enough. And then our front two, obviously, of Hogan and Deeney. Hogan getting the assist tonight for George Hall's goal, which is fantastic. And Deeney looks okay. I thought he had a decent first half. Second half, he went a bit quiet. It's frustrating with Deeney sometimes because, for me, he doesn't offer enough movement. He's good at holding up the play and he's good at winning headers. But a lot of the time, there'll be a run-on or an opportunity to move into space, and he doesn't really do that. Whether that's age, whether that's fitness, whether that's laziness, I just don't know. I still think Deeney certainly has more to offer for Blues. I think there's certainly more we can see from him. I think it's really important he gets his first goal this season. I'm hoping once he gets his first, the floodgates open. Obviously, big night for him playing against his old club, Watford, which he was at for many, many years. Special night for him. And an okay performance from him. I just think he needs that first goal, and then hopefully he can hit the ground running. So next game, obviously this Saturday against Wigan. Their game was cancelled tonight against Coventry. So can't comment on them too much. They've had an okay start to the season. They've drawn all 3 of their games. So will be interesting to see how we get on. Obviously, we are on, how many points are we on? I think we've won 1, drawn 2, and lost 1. So 5 points, which is an okay start to the season, given the opposition we've played. Cardiff, not the easiest team in the world. They're a bit unpredictable, given the amount of changes they've made. But that was never going to be an easy game away from home. And then obviously Huddersfield, Luton, got playoffs last season, and obviously Watford in the Premier League last season. So 4 tough games to open the season. The Championship just seems to get tougher and tougher as the years go on. But I think if someone said 5 points from your first 4 games, given the opposition we played, I would have certainly taken that. But on to Wigan this Saturday. Hopefully we can get all 3 points and pick up our second win of the season. So thank you guys very much for watching. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you next time. Keep right on.